do have a lot on my plate, but glad to be here.
Absolutely, a very, very busy man, one of the most hardworking men on the team. Well, everybody's hardworking. So let's just go ahead and you mentioned content down the pipeline. I think it's important to have Hazel dive into maybe even a little bit of the calendar, what people can expect. Other people are kind of concerned that Razor's the only one, but we've been very clear that Razor is just the only one for now. But I'll let Hazel go dive more into the content calendar.
Thanks, Kibby. Have you got those slides? Are you able to fire up those slides?
I'm trying to share my screen actually, and I'm having some sharing issues. I think Wonder, can you share if possible? I don't know if Wonder has the slides. Usually it always works when Wonder shares.
Okay, listen, I'm slacking in Wonder right now with the slides. It's only a couple of slides, but it just helps to like bring the conversation to life a little bit more.
Yes, and I just want to add that Razor is definitely not our only project. We have so many down, coming to you guys. So please stay tuned.
Let me see. I think okay, let me try and share again if I can. Let me see.
Here's Wonder. Look at that. Can you just go to the next slide, please, Wanda? Cheers. So as Kibby said at the top of the call, really, I just wanted to build on the last AMA, which was obviously only 3 weeks ago, and just go into a bit more detail around the frequency of the content. And as Barry said, it's not just about Razor. But what we're looking to do is to drop content every fortnight, basically, from here on in. And that'll be sort of a mix of original content that like Razor, like Iron Ico, like Four Down, but also be supplemented with more bespoke license content that we've been out in the market securing. And that license content comes with, whilst it's been seen elsewhere, it comes with exclusive content that's just for Gala Film. And so we're being really specific about that. And so that takes a little bit of time to find that type of content, but it is out there. So whether it's licensed or original content, there will always be an exclusive 24-hour window for community members to watch the content for free, to have access to moment packs and mystery boxes, unlocking the exclusive content and prizes and rewards and more and everything else that you've got to know through Razor that we have on offer. We also recognise as well that we need to increase our level of communication, and Gabby's going to be on the call later on, just talking about how we bring that to life and how we're going to announce the type of content and the content titles through that increased communication that we have, and more importantly as well when we're launching them. But the next title that you're going to see is, or I'm going to be dropping on the 11th of July, and that's Chicago I'm Home, which is Barry's breakthrough stand-up special. And again, we'll have lots of exclusive content alongside it, on top of everything that is kind of been seen elsewhere on BET, for example. I can also reveal as well that Ghost of Ruin, that's going to be dropping. We're going to be dropping the first 4 episodes on the platform this quarter. And we continue to work with those guys on the additional content, again, exclusively for you. So we hope to have more news on that in terms of exact dates and times as soon as possible. On that, do you want to go to the next slide, Wanda? So Barry, I thought it'd be a good opportunity to talk through the original content that the guys haven't sort of seen before. And it'd be good to just talk through, maybe kicking off with Almost Jaded.
Yes, Almost Jaded is another stand-up special by Barry Brewer that will be coming down, of him talking about his experiences. And just if you love to laugh, I definitely think you'll enjoy this one, and a lot of exclusive content, behind the scenes and performances he had with some of his, talented friends. So that's going to be an exciting project.
And Waking Up Horny is a classic title. Always gets a snigger out of Wanda. Are you able to go into a bit more detail about that and what type of content it is, and also sort of like the status in terms of production, whether it's pre-production or post-production or actually in production?
Yes, Waking Up Horny is in pre-production. It's a very hilarious. The title is just, it obviously gets your attention. Waking Up Horny is about a young lady who's got her heart broken, and how some guys and men, conquer or have a lot of women. Like she's kind of like turning the pages on them and doing that herself until she sees kind of like her sister, younger sister is kind of, following in her footsteps. And it's just journey of, you know, of when sometimes you kind of get even, and how that can, everybody's watching you and how it changes her journey. So it's a strong story with hilarity, alongside of this, very, coming of age, of this young lady.
I've seen the storyboards on it, and it's promises to be a great classic sort of rom-com, doesn't it? It's slightly changing gear a bit. John the Conqueror. Do you want to update everyone on what that title is about, and again the sort of production status?
And this John the Conqueror is, your action type of show. Is a former soldier turned scientist searching for his missing father. He conquers and gains power, um, and so it's an action suspense type of show. Um, it's like in the world of like a Born Identity, Luke Cage, Wolverine type of series, that Marvel style type of show. So right now that's in pre-production as well.
Brilliant. And following that sort of theme is Turnpike. Do you want to give everyone a quick update on Turnpike?
Yes, definitely. And Turnpike and John the Conqueror is actually by the same writer, very talented writer. And this movie is kind of like, I don't know if anybody's familiar with the show Hijack or the movie Collateral. Is a very similar premise about someone who a young man who's in a ride share service, and this driver, and he has to fight for his life when his newest passenger is a homegrown terrorist. And so that's Turnpike. It's gonna be a really, really great action suspense type of movie.
And another thriller is Sundown Town, isn't it? So again, would you be able to give a quick update on that one?
Yes, Sundown Town is another project that's coming down the pipeline, which is in pre-production as well. And it's about these group of friends, um, who who are African American, who stumbles upon a whites only town. No, so it speaks to some of the reality that exists about these sundown towns where certain cultures are not welcomed after a certain time, and so they're on a trip going to Vegas, and they're kind of get stuck in this city. So it's like Lovecraft Country meets Get Out, if you will, those types. It gives you that feel.
Brilliant. And a production that's very much in production is Standby. And that's kind of top of mind right now. Would you be able to give a quick update on that one?
Yes, Standby is in production right now. It's a Christmas classic rom-com. Uh, Traveling home on Christmas Eve, two strangers, Mike and Noel, contend with a group of passengers traveling on standby as they race to make it home for the holidays. Desperate for seats. I don't know if anyone ever had to ride standby, whether you missed your flight as you were late. They start to scheme and sabotage each other to try to advance in getting a seat on the plane. And Michael and Noel have to join forces to secure confirmed seats, and they eventually become, they kind of fall for each other. So standby is that. So I'm excited for you guys to see that.
Love it, love it. And that very last one, I wonder whether you could just play the trailer on this one, Savage Lands, because um, I'll let it do the talking. Everyone can hear it.
Savage Land is in pre-production as well, about to go into production in a month or so.
Brilliant.
Is the show in the trailer page?
Not at the moment.
I'll stop sharing and share again. also share audio. Okay. Like that.
You know, people do anything for clout, but you gotta be careful, cause clout kills. I get your camera back, you gonna shoot me a video? You? I said if I get your camera back, you gonna shoot me a video?
Yeah, I got you. You get my camera back, I'll shoot you a music video.
I'ma do whatever it takes to make sure my shit get heard. Sandy's for breakfast, now a breath right. Pussy boy, I know you talking reckless, won't you fist fight? Know this flow on blow on hold, but yo, my dude, this dick might blowing up that Bali party, cause right now the click tight.
What's your name, fool?
Damien. Hello, I'm begging no fuck about rap, but my dick is still stacked to the ceiling. Feel it, stumbled through cracks, now I'm here, made it back. Getting money's a hell of a
You gonna make love to my bills, nigga? Get the fuck out.
So you got your way of dealing with shit? Then I got my way of dealing with shit.
All the best shows I ever shot. Pull up to the stage with the chest out, confident as fuck. They know that everybody is there to see them.
Say that then. Yeah, boy. I'm at your head, boy. Caught beefing with a soldier, now you dead, boy.
Damien's a fucking dickhead. Fuck him.
Don't get too hyped because you're getting a little 15 now.
Tease the audience. Build up that tension. Then boom!
Nigga, I just changed, bitch. What you mean, bitch? Pull up on me when it's same. How this niggas linking, and I love it when they scream. How this nigga chasing. Pull up on me with that beam. That's why I hit scream. I don't get no fuck. I'm dead anyways.
It's going to be pretty epic, that one. On that, I'm going to hand you back to Kibby for the rest of the show.
Thank you, Hazel. Yeah, I mean, as I've stated several times in general chat, there is more content coming, and as you guys see, we have a lot of things in store. And I know you guys mentioned that most of those projects are dropping this quarter, correct?
There's
You're going to be
project.
Sorry, go on.
Yeah, all of those won't be dropping this quarter, but we'll be dropping content as consistently as it's ready. So Standby will hopefully be coming out, closer to Christmas. Almost Jaded will be coming out in the fall, hopefully around September. Savage Land probably won't come out until, first quarter next year, possibly. So yeah, we have a few projects coming, hopefully, very soon, but there will be some of them dropping this quarter, not all though.
Got it. In addition to content, a lot of the community is concerned with marketing efforts. And I just want to address that the marketing team is heavily focused on not just UA, user acquisition for those who may not be aware of the abbreviation, but also heavily with PR. So just for an example, when we launched Razor and we launched the platform, we worked with several prominent publications. Let me just list a few really quickly just so people can have an idea. So Yahoo Finance, KTLA 5, Seeking Alpha, PR Newswire, Benzinga, Fox 8, and so many more. And that is our goal. We kind of want to market and we want to onboard people outside of this server. You guys are our priority. You guys were here from the beginning, loyal. And we definitely do appreciate you all, but we do need to have a better user flow or better UA flow. So we are, I know Gala has a certain reputation as a whole for marketing, but Film is definitely taking a different approach. And I think you guys will see and will actually be satisfied with the marketing efforts as more content comes down the pipeline. So that's marketing. And then I guess we can go right into the major concern. I've been cussed out for the last few weeks. No worries. I understand the concern is very valid around the TGE. So I'll go ahead and let Wonder and Top Boy Q dive into that and talk about, why we're delaying it and what the plan is for that. And I'll let you guys do that part.
Thanks, Gibby. I think we've got a few things that we want to cover off in this session. Appreciate that. I think we wanted to spend some time in the last AMA, but very focused on kind of the content coming in, and then obviously Barry able to join us as well. Which, B Man. Luckily, he's got an external persona. Not that we haven't dropped quite a few names in today's call. So what we'll do is we'll quickly go through some of the things that are coming up, some of the features that are being lined up for release as part of kind of TGE and other things that we're looking at that's going to hopefully drive kind of bigger adoption across more channels. Then I think Kibby wrote me a list. So next is around kind of price and mystery boxes. Let's touch on that. Then we'll get on to Node, and then let's jump on to TGE, where as part of that we'll cover some white paper stuff. And if you're a Node owner, there are some actions coming your way. We're going to have a Node vote, so we're gonna talk about that quickly. We're going to go through popcorn buckets as well. We will reveal the multiplier, which I know a few people have been asking for a good few months, and then let's talk about launch date at the end. Cool. So with that, I think I'm going to throw it over to Top Boy Q, who's going to give us an overview of what film boosts are.
What's going on, y'all? I'm not sure if we've talked about this. I feel like we have, but if we haven't, I want to give a quick summary of one of the primary utilities that's planned for the film token upon TGE. Obviously, as we are emitting the token through moments, nodes, essentially any token emitting product, we want to use that film token for things. One of the things that's planned is film boost. So this idea that using the rewards you're accruing from your moments and your nodes, you will be able to boost films into high rankings on the platform amongst other films. So initially, not super relevant when you only have one film on the platform, aka Razor today. But as we introduce more and more content to the platform, you'll be able to lock and hold your film against a particular film. And in essence, you are creating or introducing a multiplier on that film. So you are boosting that film. And as the watch multiplier is applied to that film, anybody that holds moments for that particular piece of content, they will get a multiplier in their reward. So essentially, this is obviously we've talked about staking and locking. This isn't staking in the conventional way, but this is a way for you to lock your film and be rewarded if you are also supporting that piece of content through owning moments for it. So that's one of the primary utilities. Depending on the level of boost that a particular piece of content gets, it'll also be featured on the homepage. Again, not super relevant when you only have one piece of content as we do today. But as you can imagine, when you have 15, 20, 30, 50 films, the level of boost that a particular film gets, it'll gain additional features on the platform. In addition to that, from the artist's perspective and the content creator's perspective, they'll be able to see basically the rankings of all the people that are boosting that particular film. So Razor, for example, David Bianchi and the Razor team will be able to see essentially all of the top fans for Razor, people that are holding the most amount of tokens against it, and artists and creators could reward their fans accordingly. So it could be something along the lines of, the top 10 fans for Razor, or the top 10 fans for Almost Jaded, or any other film that's come to the platform. The creator will be able to see it and have a direct relationship with their biggest fans and audience. And this is, opening up that path for a direct relationship between the artist and the fans, and allowing the operating entity, aka Gala Film, to slowly start moving out of the way, take the training wheels off, and create that Web3 experience between the two parties. So that's one of the primary utilities. Film Boost, you can use your film token to boost a particular film, gain additional reward for the moments you own for that film, and allow the creators to have have a clear picture on your fandom and the top fans. That's one of the utilities. There's a couple other ones that we're planning. Don't Not sure if we can speak to those just yet. Wonder if you wanna. Yeah, I'm actually gonna send it back over to you. I'm not sure if I missed anything, but if I did, let me know and I'll speak to that as well.
Sure, thanks, Top Boy. So obviously Film Boost's pretty key piece of functionality regarding utility. I'm sure those putting two and two together might start understanding why TGE can't or wasn't able to launch in June if a key piece of functionality is dependent on content on the platform. Only having one thing available doesn't really work with that. But what's great news is as Hazel and B-Man has gone through, we have a really strong calendar across Q3, Q4, which helps these types of kind of propositions thrive and helps ensure a healthy token. So kind of talking about the other things we're working on, let's be transparent on kind of the backlog and things that we're looking at. So obviously film needs to be a primary currency, and it's important for us to kind of make sure that the film platform promotes the token. So I'm sure that everyone on this call has either watched something, got involved with the mystery boxes, got involved with moments, own a node. So you're holding some popcorn at the moment. Another piece of utility that would be looking to bring in is actually providing discounts for anyone that pays in film or credit card. We will allow credit card because the idea is that anyone that purchases with fiat, we will we will exchange that for film. So that's another bit of utility is providing a discount. We'll obviously still allow for purchases in Gala and ETH, but again, we're kind of promoting the use of film. Talking about other features that we're looking at, we are heavily looking at other channels. Whilst browser is great, I'm sure kind of most of you on here don't consume much media on your laptop, and if you're on a browser or on your phone, it's not a great experience. So one of the things we are looking at as we are bringing out more and more pieces of content is looking to launch on other channels. So there's going to be a big focus on TV apps. So if you have something like a smart TV, we're looking to develop almost like a web app, which allows for launch on those platforms. We're also looking at kind of mobile and tablet as well. So no date on those yet. I say doesn't really make sense to be launching that right now, but it is a high priority, and we are progressing on the development of those. So launching on channel is quite a big one. Indie voting. So at the moment, everything that we've talked about has been focused on content that's being driven by Gala. Now we know that there's kind of other worlds out there around filmmakers, visionaries, fans that have ideas, and then we also have filmmakers and visionaries that actually have content and they're looking for a home for the productions. So this is where indies and pitches come in, kind of other key kind of functionality that we're looking to drive in the second half of the year. And with pitches, it's all about kind of backing, supporting, getting involved, being rewarded for being early supporters. And then with indies, if you're kind of part of the governance circle, which is kind of one of the benefits of being a node owner, you'll be key in that process on what comes into Gala film and doesn't. So again, when we get closer to launching, we'll provide more details on those. But those are key bits of functionality that we're looking to bring in. And then we've got some stickiness stuff as well. So, we understand that, some of you are proper OGs, been here since 2021, 2022. And I'm sure someone's going to write in a comment that they've been here even longer. But, we want to recognize that. We want to recognize people that get involved in the film ecosystem. And so having some form of progression system is also on our radar for this half of the year to help with that kind of that stickiness side of things. And then for new users as well, we can bring in elements of gamification to keep them in the loop, keep them coming back time and time again, especially with the awesome content that's coming through. Been here since 1980. Love it. Cool. So those are kind of some of the key things coming in from a feature perspective. I'm sure we've discussed some other things in the past, so if anyone wants to get an update on it, just throw it in the chat, and I'll provide an update at the end. But I think those are the key ones that people have talked about. Let's jump on to prices of mystery boxes. I'm sure everyone has seen that pop up around the Razer mystery boxes, 50% off. So yeah, that's correct. So the idea is that when Chicago I'm Home, the Barry's kind of stand-up special launches next week, the Razer boxes will be going up to $7.99. The Chicago boxes will be coming in at $3.99 for that early bird sale. So if you're kind of wanting to finalize those expansions, I definitely recommend getting involved now. Although obviously if you want to do it afterwards, you can do. But then similar to Razer, Chicago I'm Home will be bringing in moments, and they'll also have expansions as well, following a similar setup. I think the idea is that we're going to hopefully bring in a bit more, a few more prizes in the Chicago I'm Home boxes as well. Node update. So we have, anyone that has a node, I'll keep this shortish. Appreciate not everyone is a node owner, but about 4, 5, 6 weeks ago, we're in a position in the node network where it needs to host and hold content. Like at the moment, anyone that remembers right at the beginning, the nodes just went absolutely berserk and was doing kind of gigabytes of data sending every second, killing bandwidth for everyone. So we basically had to restrict the capabilities in the service. Now we have a lot of that under control, and we're continually testing. I'm sure people will see spikes from time to time, but we're now in that position where nodes are going to host content. And so if nodes are hosting content, we cannot have a set of nodes that is hosting content and a nodes that are not hosting content and just give both the same level of reward each day, because obviously those that are not supporting anything, they're not carrying any load, they're not supporting the ecosystem, so therefore there's obviously that side of things, especially when you think about the SEC and kind of the rules around securities. So it's really important that everyone is treated fairly and that all nodes are carrying kind of equal stuff, especially as in the future we want to start looking at film boosts and node boosts, and things like that.
Wonder, do you know how what percentage of the nodes have come back online versus how many people are struggling to?
I think it's about 60%. I think it's about 60%. So, like I say, we gave the heads up and warning across Discord and through email about 6 or 7 weeks ago. I think about 3 weeks ago they got turned off. Now, in that announcement, there is kind of a walkthrough and a 101 on this. These are the various issues. I know that there was comments around ports, have to be on different IPs, all these different things that, and obviously up to a certain version on Node as well. So. So yeah, with regards to the Node side of things, do check those announcements if you are a Node owner. Do click on those links. There are kind of a step-by-step and diagrams as well, helping to diagnose some of the issues that are out there. I know that there's always work being done on them, so from time to time they may just kind of go offline, but kind of generally the if you fulfill those criteria, they should be fine. I'm on Contabu, for example, and they're all working fine.
I think there's a bit of a misconception that, the people that are running their nodes and they ran on time, they're being punished for the fact that other people weren't able to get their nodes up and running. I want to reassure everybody here with the node that, the distribution algorithm is working exactly as intended. And don't see it as like a, diminishing rewards. Obviously, if the daily size of the emission is lower, you are still getting that same percentage of it. It's just the entire ecosystem has less token to emit because of the lack of activity. So I feel like there needs to be a reframing in how people think about it, because I have been getting some DMs from people saying, hey, they're running their nodes, they feel like they're being punished as a result of other people, being unable to run their nodes. But I don't think everything is sort of operating as intended. It's just some people haven't gotten around to it. So I wanted to take a second to address that.
Thanks, Dot Boy. Cool. So I see a question around how do you turn the beta nodes off? If so, with regards to that, like I say, when all the node stuff sorted out, we're going to review the whole beta program. I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to assume I'm not going to share anything about my node here. But if you kind of have a look here, so this is an example of something that got set up. You can see here, for example, I got my film off, and kind of because of my firewall, you can see that a couple of my ports are offline. As Punisher has said as well, we've done an update where a couple of them are had a new workload go out, and maybe it's affecting a couple of people as well. So if you've had an issue in the last 24 hours, it might be related to that. But if you want to turn it off, if you go into your node management and pick your node, all you have to do is flick on, flick off. It's as simple as that. The node guys have done amazing work at getting this set up and running. I'm going to leave it at that. Obviously, there's a node channel. I know that Infinite Looper Giggles is doing an amazing job kind of chatting through and trying to help people. But like I say, first portal call, please just try and get into the walkthrough. Cool. So I'm sure people are going to chat, and like I say, we got Punisher and Infinite Looper Googles talking through there. Right, let's go on to TGE. So we're in the process of finalizing our white paper. Top Boy's just gone through Film Boost, so things like that need to be added to the white paper. So that's obviously an upgrade from light to white. And this then takes us to the first film vote. So just flicking over to another screen. Anyone that holds a node, if you want to grab these URLs, you're welcome to. Obviously, we'll put it in an announcement afterwards. But if you are a node owner, you should be able to have access to this page. Unfortunately, on the node dashboard site, you can only get access to nodes. You can only get access to voting for founders nodes. So this is why we're having to host it on our site here. But node owners, you have until the 7th of July to help with a couple of tokenomic questions. So the first one, a lot of complaints that I'm seeing is around the volatility of popcorn going out each day. So the first question is, do we want to change it? So, obviously, if you look at music, for example, I think music has a 100-day rolling average. So they just look at how much kind of music's gone out over the last 100 days. And that obviously mitigates a lot of the spikes. I personally, I quite like seeing those spikes. It kind of shows, when things are new, you're going to get reward straight away, or more reward straight away. But the longer you put the tail, the kind of the more that dissipates over time. So first question is how do we want to move forward with this? And I think this is important governance question, because node owners will get getting 20% of the allocation. So I think it's important that kind of node owners are key in making that decision. So obviously I'll remove my answers from this. And then secondly is around the film boost. So going through what Top Boy walked through earlier, we are going to give a boost to the viewership numbers based on the amount of film that's locked against the title. How much of a boost do you think we should apply? So do we want to go a bit more extreme, or do we want to be a bit more reserved? And again, I think that's a question for the community to answer. So once you've answered, as noted, we'll jump onto that next week, and we'll give the answers next week. Cool. So that's the node vote. I'm going to jump onto popcorn buckets next. Everyone loves a multiplier. So I think a lot of people have been waiting for this. Basically, we want to reward those that have kind of run their nodes and have gotten kind of those larger buckets. So the multiplier mainly sits kind of towards the tail. Now, obviously, there may be this is always prone to change, but I think that this is the lowest that we're going to set it. So obviously, it feels healthy, feels quite nice, but obviously, I just wanted to share that with you, because I appreciate that that's something that's been noted. But a 25% boost to anyone that owns a mega bucket. Talking about the exchanges and how that's going to work. So when film actually goes live, we're going to do the heavy lifting. We are going to we're going to do that exchange for everyone, and we're going to airdrop the film token out. So hold bucket NFTs if you hold popcorn in your in your wallet, which we will then basically drop out the equivalent amount of film when we have our TGE. Supposedly, I'm not allowed to provide much more detail than that for legal reasons, but we will handle that. So I think that's all I can share on that. So let's go back. Questions. Okay, talking about TGE and launch date. So we already talked about content, but then also, I think generally across the market, we want to make sure that we're launching, kind of launching a token where things are a bit more positive across the industry, across the market as a whole, and then also we want to make sure that we're launching kind of to a strong strategy. So one of the things that we are doing is looking at a few TGE strategies. We're kind of looking into the implications of kind of the various options. So obviously there's kind of launching film on a DEX, let the token settle in, or kind of what's it like if we do a DEX and a SEX? If we were to do a SEX, do we go singular T1? Do we go multiples? Again, I don't think there's too much I'm allowed to say on this topic, so I'm going to leave it there. But we are we're working with LFG, Bitbender's company that split off from Gala a few weeks ago to help us with kind of moving forward on that. But myself and Top Boy Q and a couple of others, this is obviously a key thing that we're thinking through. And with regards to a launch date, I'd probably say we're trending July, but can't be more specific on that. Like I say, as we continue with the analysis of the various strategies and the implications off the back of it, things might change. So I think that's where we'll keep that for now.
Really quick wonder. I've seen this concern quite a few times over the past week. I know we're trending towards July for the TGE, but when we talk about the importance of having content just for the overall value, is there a number of titles that would, I guess, influence the launch?
No. I think it's just having a healthy number, and showcasing the fact that there's a healthy pipeline, which Hazel and B Man have gone through earlier today. So hopefully that's bringing the confidence that H2, the second half of the year, is going to look really really strong for Gala Film, and it's going to be a much more exciting place in over the coming months, with more and more stuff coming on. And so, obviously from a token perspective, I think that hits a lot of the bases. It's just obviously, there's multiple and various factors in launching a token. It's not just something that you can you can just drop it, but it won't go down very well if there's not a strategy tied to it. So
Got it. Sounds good. Um, I also wanted to give some people a chance to come on stage and ask questions. I know usually we answer questions in chat, but I think it may be valuable to give people I guess a stage or get on the soapbox. So if you had a concern that you wanted to address, the team directly, um, feel free to make a request and I'll bring you up. In the meantime, while that's happening, I see oh no. Well, in the meantime, while that's happening, waiting on requests. This is a question for B Man actually. A lot of people are, they bring up different streaming platforms, YouTube, Netflix, etc. And they kind of want to know like, do we see ourselves the next Netflix? Where do we see ourselves in the next 5 years in comparison to other streaming platforms? So I would love if B Man could kind of speak to that for the community. And Hazel, feel free to jump in too.
I'll let B-Man go first because I know he's got a strong vision for the platform.
Yeah, I know he spoke to it earlier, but I've been getting that specific question for quite some time now, so I just wanted to be more specific.
He's on mute. I'm not sure if he's trying to be talking.
Well, if you want to go first, Hazel, I guess we'll have to do it backwards.
I guess so. I mean, where the ambition is, we're 2 months old, and I think.
Hi guys, I'm sorry. I apologize.
You go first, B-Man, because like I said, now you got a vision there.
Yes, what was the question again? Forgive me.
Yeah, no worries. So a few members, or quite a few members, they typically compare us to other streaming platforms. So they'll mention YouTube, Netflix, and they kind of want to hear from us on where we see ourselves in comparison to, I guess you can say competition, but not really. I think we're a different lane. But they kind of just want to, understand where we see ourselves in the next 5 years and, how do we compare to other streaming platforms.
Well, how we compare to other streaming platforms, obviously, is that we are an entity that hosts, quality and original content. So that's where we're similar. I think all the other aspects of us are different than most, right? The nodes, the mystery boxes, the moments, the things that allows the audience to have a deeper experience with the content. Also, the audience being able to profit off of what we are doing as well. So I think that all those elements is what makes us different. Where I think we're moving, if we had to say in the next 5 years, we would be, I guess you would say, in the more in the mind frame of maybe as we, because things happen as you're developing and you're kind of seeing what works and don't work. So I don't want to say, oh, we're going to be this in the next 5 years, but I think Netflix is obviously the staple to know if we'll have all the aspects of what Netflix is and how they function. It's just too early to say right now. I think as we're developing and adding new aspects of the business to our business model, we're figuring it out. So Netflix is ideal, having premium content, having people just in love with that, also, that's the ideal place that we see ourselves in the next few years. But we're different because we're adding elements to film and television that has never been added, right? Like the audience has never been able to profit off of any original content and things like that. So that's where we're very different and working and walking into a different world in that respect. We're figuring it out and seeing what works and what don't work as we go.
And my only build on that is around the business model. You know, we've got one of our USPs is obviously the mystery box business model. So free to watch, but monetization through the gamification of viewing. And that's the one that's the USP that's really caught Hollywood's attention and other streaming platforms' attention because, you know, outside of the big free streaming platforms, everyone's struggling with the subscription model. There's very few people making money out of it, and those that are, what they're starting to see is obviously, yeah, more people are churning, viewers are churning quicker, so they're just having to pay more to keep reacquiring you as a user and a viewer, and so they're looking for new ways to monetize their content, and so the mystery box model really appeals to a lot of platforms, and they're looking at us, you know, with close eyes right now.
Yes, thank you. Did that
Just to
answer
add
that?
to that, I think one of the core propositions from an artist and creator perspective is also having visibility over your biggest fans. As we introduce more elements to the product and more utilities, you know, as a creator, I could see which fans have allocated the most amount of film towards my content, and so you know that type of visibility over your biggest fans, from my perspective, is completely unprecedented in the space. So I definitely see that as a core, unique selling point to the product. In addition to B-Man and Basil comment.
Yeah, thank you for the clarity. I mean, not I shouldn't say thank you. I already know, but it's good for the community to hear that from you guys is directly. Um, I know another concern has been communication, and we hear you and we're going to improve on that. So what we're going to do from here on out is start doing bi-weekly updates. And that'll be via email and of course in Discord, and that'll include things that we've discussed today, you know, node updates, TGE concerns, and content, because we definitely want to keep you guys more informed. Um, Pitches. Oh, one. Speaking of pitch, did you we spoke on pitches, correct, Wonder?
Yeah, but I think just kind of light. I think at the moment there are other things going to come out earlier, so I think focus is on those. We talked about pitches and indies together. I do see a couple of questions there around kind of when you say hold film against a specific title, how does that work? So, you know, in music right now, if you're familiar with music, if there's an artist, you can go in there, you can lock, and then you can basically, I think the main benefits at the moment is around getting a discount on your kind of future purchases with that artist. Now, obviously, with films and titles, kind of doesn't really work to the same level. So, well, sorry, yeah, with films, it's not a guarantee, so we wouldn't want to promise discounts and stuff on. So, this is where we had to kind of look at other opportunities. Had some great ideas, but they all got told they were securities, and I assume that a lot of you don't want to share your passport details. Um, this was always part of that proposition. So the idea is that you're going to be able to lock your film or hold your film against an actual title, and that will boost the kind of the viewership number. So instead of a film having one view, it might be considered having 1.5 views, which obviously, if you have moments in that film, will help with greater rewards and such. But yeah, that's kind of leaving it on chain, leaving it in the system. And you know, when we start thinking about film boosts as well, you know, probably holding is another element for that area too. There's a question there around transferable. So just because Top Boy and I have given different answers, just want to confirm that if you popcorn is not transferable. If you go into your balance and you actually bridge over or kind of you enable from your allowance onto Gala chain, there is an option to send it, but you can't actually send it to anyone. If you try, it will fail. The only people that you can send to is the operator supply, is back to Gala. Um, so no, popcorn's not transferable. But when film is released, then yes, film will be transferable because it is a token. Cool.
I'm looking through the general. Oh, when TG, always that one person that
Well, I've learned a new word today, tendies. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but yeah, with regards to prizes, anything's a possibility. We take steer and inspiration from the film, the content. I know that our marketing lead, I don't know if she has a fake name, but I've heard Hazel call her Gabby, so we'll go with Gabby. Gabby's really keen in making sure that we're bringing tangible items that are kind of related to the product and such as well. So um, yeah, hopefully you'll see a little bit of kind of the mystery boxes being mixed up a little bit more.
In addition to the tangible items, like for like content, we also want to explore, different realities and like we don't want it just to be BTS. So there'll be more to expect in terms of the content side outside of the actual tangible items and gala and popcorn and things like that. Or film, I should say.
Yeah, I don't know how much we're allowed to talk about it, but I mean, like, there are some great ones coming up. So, for example, for Witchboard, I know that Chuck recorded a load of kind of additional storylines about kind of the different characters in the film, and then for Ghosts of Ruin, you're going to be able to see kind of like a cross view of people recording their line, the actresses recording their lines against the actual film, and various other bits and bobs. So some really exciting stuff when it comes to the expansion side of things, and hopefully everyone that's been able to unlock some of the Razor ones are getting a sense of what's to come.
Definitely. I don't see any other major concerns in the chat right now, but as usual, if you guys do have any additional concerns, feel free to drop them in general chat, even the feedback channel, and we'll be able to address them. I will post a recap sometime this week for RNG, sometime this week. The week ends on Sunday, RNG, in case I get a double ping. That'll be just basically recapping everything we discussed today, and then we'll also send out that email as well, and we'll keep a biweekly cadence for that. Any final thoughts, B-Man, Hazel, Wonder, Top Boy Q? My final thoughts would just be that we sound so cliche when we say we're working, but literally, like, this is every day, all day, nonstop. We definitely are going to deliver. We have a lot of things that we can't discuss, unfortunately, but some exciting things that I'm looking forward to personally. But that's my final thought. I'll let you guys take the floor.
Yes, thank you for the opportunity. Yes, I'm just excited to bring you all some new quality content to continue to, just intrigue you with our great content and to uh, deliver on what we say we're going to deliver on. So I'm just excited for that opportunity. Excited to be a part of the Gala community. So yeah, thank you again for this opportunity.
Yeah, just want to echo that as well. I'm looking forward to getting the frequency and the cadence of the drops happening fortnightly, and I should point out as well, it's a minimum of fortnightly. As and when we get sort of like into rhythm and routine on this, there's scope to increase that frequency, then we will do. But yeah, no, looking forward to getting more content on the platform.
Alrighty,
This
so
is it.
with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and wrap. Continue to stream Razor if you haven't already seen it. Tap in, collect your moment packs, mystery boxes. There's a lot more to come in store. So see you guys soon.
Appreciate y'all. Take care.
Agree. Bye.